It all started on a Tuesday morning in a quiet little town in Indiana. Nothing fancy, just a local supermarket, a few moms with carts, an old guy browsing canned beans, and one man, Marcus Riddell, standing in aisle 5, looking for oat milk. Yeah, oat milk. That's what kicked this whole thing off. See, Marcus wasn't wearing a suit or a badge or anything official, just jeans, a hoodie, and a calm expression. But to Officer Brent Halpern, who walked in responding to nothing, just sniffing around like he owned the place, Marcus looked suspicious. And you know how that goes. Brent didn't ask questions, didn't observe. Nope, he just walked right up, hand already hovering near his holster, and said something like, "Let me see some ID now." Now Marcus, cool as a winter lake, said, "I'm not doing anything wrong, officer." Calm voice, eye contact, no sudden moves. But Brent didn't like that. Maybe he thought Marcus was being defiant, whatever that means when you're a black man breathing air. So Brent pulled his gun, right there, in the cereal aisle, over oat milk. People froze. A mom clutched her child. Someone whispered, "Is he serious?" And Brent, oh, he was serious. Shouting commands, barking threats like he was starring in his own action movie. But Marcus, he didn't flinch. Instead, he looked Brent dead in the eye and said, "You're about to make the worst mistake of your career." Now here's where it gets good. Marcus slowly reached into his jacket, not for a weapon, but for a badge, a federal badge. He was a senior FBI agent, not undercover, not retired, active, respected, and very much authorized to shop for oat milk without harassment. Brent stuttered. You could see the blood drain from his face, like someone just unplugged his ego and left it dangling on the floor. But Marcus? He didn't shout, didn't gloat, just asked the store clerk, "Mind calling your local police chief? Use my name, he'll want to know." 15 minutes later, the store was surrounded by squad cars, not to protect Brent, but to deal with him. Enter Chief Darnell Brooks, big guy, gray mustache. You could feel the authority walk in before you even saw him. He looked at Marcus, nodded like they were old colleagues, which turns out they were. Then he turned to Brent and asked for his side. Brent tried to spin it. He was acting suspicious, didn't comply. You know, the usual nonsense. But Chief Brooks didn't bite. Instead, he pulled out his notepad, looked Brent in the eye, and said, "Hand me your badge. And your gun. Now." Silence. The whole store was watching. Phones recording. You could hear someone gasp. And just like that, Brent Halpern was done. Fired. On the spot. No union rep. No press conference. Just cold, clean accountability. But wait. Here comes the twist. Turns out, Brent had 3 prior complaints for racial profiling, all swept under the rug by friends in internal affairs. But this time, the rug got yanked, the video went viral, civil rights groups got involved, and the FBI? Oh, they weren't happy. An internal review was opened, not just on Brent, but on how many more Brents were lurking in that department. Marcus gave one statement to the press, just one. He said, "I didn't flash my badge to save myself. I wanted him to pull that trigger, to prove to the world what we're dealing with. But I have a son. I couldn't risk it. So I showed the badge. That's the only difference between me and someone who never gets to tell this story." That line still haunts people, still makes people mad, still starts arguments in living rooms across the country. Because here's the thing. Marcus was lucky, not because he's FBI, but because he lived. And Brent? Last we heard, he tried to file for wrongful termination. It got laughed out of court. So next time you see a guy in a hoodie reaching for oat milk, maybe don't assume he's a threat. Maybe assume he's someone's father, someone's son. Or maybe he's the man who could end your career with one calm stare and a badge you never saw coming. Now tell me this, was justice served? Or was Marcus just another man forced to prove he had the right to exist? Let me know in the comments below. Because some stories, they don't end when the gun goes down. They begin.